Well, good morning, my friend. Tuesday morning, first day of November. Welcome to the Pastor's Podcast. Good to have you with me this morning as we start the 11th month of the year and looking forward to a good day. Only 61 more days left in this year. Can you believe that? Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Then Christmas time comes right after that. And people now start thinking that way just a little bit, but we can't stop serving the Lord. And I hope that you are engaged in your church, engaged in serving God. Let's see how we can end this year out right. Well, today I want to talk to you about one word, incomplete. In Judges chapter 1 and verse 28, the scripture says, "And it came to pass when Israel was strong, that they put the Canaanites to tribute and did not utterly drive them out." A troubling statement in this verse I just read to you, is that Israel did not utterly drive them out. Israel's action not to utterly drive out the enemy was an incomplete task that they should have completed. God did not give them that task to only do part of what he said to do, but he gave it to them to do the whole thing. When God gave his people the command utterly drive out all the inhabitants of the land, he expected them to obey. You see, what Israel didn't understand was that it didn't matter if they thought they could control the remainder inhabitants. It was the fact that they disobeyed God by not completely obeying him. The incomplete task was detrimental to their future, as it always is with anyone that doesn't complete what they start. Now, one great character flaw of many that keeps God from using them greatly is not finishing what they start. God never expects his people to be incomplete in what he gives them to do. Now, imagine if God followed the incomplete mentality in creation. This world would be a mess. Your life would be a mess. But not to complete what you're supposed to do in any task, but especially the task that God gives you to do, will lead you to a life of mediocrity and regret. There are several things that the incomplete mentality does. First, incomplete is a revelation of your laziness. The fact that you won't complete everything you're supposed to do shows your lack of character, my friend, and it shows you're lazy. I know that's a pretty strong word, but that's the fact. Only lazy people don't complete what they start. It doesn't matter how insignificant the incomplete task may seem to you. The fact that you left something incomplete shows your laziness. Second, incomplete shows your lack of respect for God. It's a lack of respect because you're saying that you know better than God. It's a lack of respect for God because incomplete is disobedience. To accept incomplete is to say that God didn't know what he was doing when he wanted you to complete a task that he gave you to do. God's not a God of mediocrity, but of excellence, and excellence never leaves a task incomplete. It finishes even the tiniest of tasks. Third, incomplete always influences others not to do their job completely. Your laziness and disrespect toward God in leaving tasks incomplete teaches another person, the next generation, or those following you, that it's okay not to finish what you start. When you read the verses that I've read to you, the verses that follow that I read to you, you'll see that many others did not drive out the inhabitants that they were to drive out. You are teaching others a bad character trait by not finishing everything when you leave things incomplete. Fourth, incomplete always comes back to hurt you. I want you to get that one statement right there. Leaving things incomplete is a bad habit to teach because it always hurts you at the most inopportune time. If you completely finish everything, you'll never have to worry about that task demanding to be finished at a time when you're doing something else. Many have hindered their future because they're trying to complete unfinished. Use tasks from the past instead of putting their whole effort into the present task. Now, I want to ask you a question. Do you find yourself leaving things incomplete? Do you get things mostly done? Are there things lying around your house or office that have been incomplete for some time? Now, you need to make it a habit that when you start something, you finish it before you go on to the next task. You'll never be one to have to go back to finish the incomplete task in the future if you finish what you start. My friend, that's one of the great secrets of life to being a successful person. Don't start something that you don't complete. Once you start it, you don't stop until you complete it. Now listen to me. Don't be jumping to other jobs and other tasks. Finish what you have right now. Finish it. Get it done. Get it over with. Move on to the next thing, because all these incomplete tasks. Let me tell you a story. When I lived in Texas, there was a man that built that neighborhood, the development where I lived. I bought the house. It was, I think, like the third or fourth house in that development. His mistake was he would start a house and he'd go to the next house and start another house, go to the next house, start another house. He'd start about 3 houses. Then he'd go back to the first house and start working on that one, trying to get it closed. Then he'd go to the next one. Then he'd go to the next, and then he'd start another one. He kept on doing that till he bled himself dry financially. He lost the whole neighborhood, went bankrupt. You know why? He didn't finish the first job at one time. He said, let me do several homes at one time. I'll start, and then I'll start, and then I'll start, and then I'll start. No, sir. You see, he destroyed himself by not completing what he should have completed. Can I tell you right now, when you start something, you head down and finish it. Don't start something else until you finish what you started. That's the best way to get things done. You'll make more money that way as a business owner. As an individual, you complete more tasks. As a Christian, you'll be able to do more for God if you don't leave anything incomplete. Well, my friend, I hope this is a help to you today. Now, let's remember today, be good to everyone. Everyone's having a tough time. Have a great day, my friend.